Could you imagine a world without cash, without swiping your credit card? Could you imagine a world without trading or bartering? Today, we're going to talk about the evolution of money and how it's going to impact you. First of all, why should you trust me? Well, I've been using money all my life. My dad owns a business, and I'm a business student at Grand Canyon University and finishing my first year with hopefully a 4.0. Based on that track record, we're going to show you today how I'm going to illustrate the evolution of money and how has it changed throughout history and why it is important to know what's happening in the US. We're going to look at where money comes from, how it has evolved, what's happening in the US, and presently how banks are changing and how you might be using a cryptocurrency in your near future. From a Christian perspective, God gave man dominion over the planet, everything that breathes, crawls, and grows. So that comes from natural resources, and natural resources allow us to barter. That means I have something that you want, and you have something that I want, just like this speech. I want your attention, and you want to know about money. The Midlife blog says before money was invented, people bartered for goods and services. It wasn't until 5,000 years ago that the Mesopotamian people created the shekel, which is considered the first known form of currency. Gold and silver coins date back to around 650 to 600 BC, when stamped coins were used to pay armies. So money has evolved from bartering using physical objects such as oil or wine, which were coveted a long time ago. Then we moved to paper money and then gold. Gold is very special because there is only a limited amount and therefore makes it valuable. Then we used to credit cards and cryptocurrency, which we are going to see in the future. That's how money has evolved throughout history. The United States is the world superpower because we, as a country, have won World War I and World War II, and we ended up with the world's money. But recently, or in your parents' lifetime, in 1971, President Nixon removed the US dollar from the gold standard. That means that every dollar was backed by the amount of gold that we have. But no longer that is the case. Our currency is a fiat currency, which means that we can print as much money as we want because we are the world reserve currency. That means that all global trading happens in US dollars. Like when we buy oil from Saudi Arabia, we pay them in dollars. Investopedia says the first US dollar was printed in 1914 after the Federal Reserve Bank was created. The Allies paid the US for supplies in gold during World War I, propelling the US to become the largest holder of gold. Countries pegged their currencies to the dollar after the war, ending the gold standard. The International Monetary Fund reported that 59% of all foreign bank reserves are dominated in the US dollars. Because of our success in the war, we were allowed to become in charge of the World Bank. New forms of currency include Bitcoin. That means that it is decentralized, which the government cannot control, but controlled by the individual. Soon, cash will no longer be something that we use. AP News says in March, Biden signed Executive Order 14067, titled Ensuring Responsible Development of Digital Assets. The long anticipated executive order called on government agencies to look at the risks and benefits of digital currencies. This is important because it shows that we are very close to a digital currency and cash will no longer be something that we use. The US dollar is currently at risk. Other countries are jealous that the US is in control of the world reserve currency, and we have lots of debt. And if our currency is no longer the world reserve currency, we have to pay that debt back. Our currency will be worth nothing. The US Gold Bureau says that all the infrastructure is being built to de dollarize the world economy. Chinese Communist Party's newspaper calls for the pushback against the dollar's hegemony. BRICS are actively building a currency and have already opened multiple banks. BRICS are countries that are creating a lot of the world's GDP. And then there's the G7. To continue, Russia has already pegged its currency to gold. Multiple signposts are warning of a bleak future for the dollar, and indeed, there will be a divided world economy or unbelievable violence to hold the current economic structure together. Currently, the world is in high tension because the US is in control and they're not. Over this few minutes, I have shown you that we have started with trading and bartering, where money came from when God gave man natural resources, which we use to trade, such as gold and cash, used such as paper. And then we evolved to credit cards and now cryptocurrency. Money in the US is like no other in the world because it's the world reserve currency and it's a fiat currency, which means we can print as much money as we want, but that might not be the case in the future. So I implore you to think twice about where your money is, where you keep your assets, and how the world economic system happens.